you are an actress, and
I am.
what was the? How'd you get from softball to acting?
Well, it's funny that you say that. Like like you mentioned before, I didn't want to become an actress. You know, growing up in a Latin home in the Bronx, you're not really raised to be. I grew up with music and salsa, and that's our culture. And
no.
food. Yes, I know. And my father was, always into sports, and I was very athletic, and I was like, oh, I'm going to play for the, I'm going to work for the Yankees. One day, hopefully, a woman can play for the Yankees. Just one time. And I was at Hunter College, and I was like, you know what? I just want to take an elective class, and I ended up taking, like, acting 101. And I said, okay, I think I want to do this. And I left school. Not that anyone should leave school, but I was sure of myself, and my mom and my dad were very, supportive. And I did stand-up comedy, and I'm speaking to you now. Oh, it's all because of God,
All to bring you to this moment right now. Well, it was interesting how you were led to the Lord. You were actually led to the Lord by your boyfriend at the time.
Yes.
Who was a rapper.
Yes. Well, he was a reggaeton artist, and that's reggaeton. That's Spanish reggae. That's, Daddy Yankee and all these.
Okay.
Yes.
A reggaeton.
Right. You would know. Your people would know.
I know reggaetoni. That's different.
No, that's what you call it. Yeah, no.
But this is different.
Yes. So at that time, I was living in LA, and, Freedom Riders had just come out, and I was living my dream, and I was just like, oh, you have issues, and you have problems, and you need help.
Your boyfriend.
My boyfriend. Yeah. And he was in New York, and I said, you need to find something. And he found someone bigger than me.
So he got saved first.
He got saved first. And then I moved from LA back to New York, and I started going to Words of Life Christian Center. That's my church. And hi, pastors. And and I gave my life to Christ, because I was thinking I didn't have any issues or problems.
Of course not.
Of course not. I mean, I was in LA living the Hollywood dream. So meanwhile,
and he's here tonight. Jose Castillo.
He's like on his way.
He's on his way. He's late?
Yeah. He's late. He's never late.
He's a rapper, man. Rappers got to be late,
No, but
you see a guy come in with a baseball hat turned sideways, all, clocked.
No,
that's not him.
No.
He's all slicked out, right?
He is. He's a great man, and, he gave his life to Christ, and he and I, it's been 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Or as they say in Spanish, good for you. Good for you.
So that's not Sicilian?
I don't know. I learned a little bit here and there.
Like, hey, how you doing? You like Jesus? No, I'm just saying. So,
that's a little more Jersey.
You like Jesus? No. It's your show.
No, hey, it just made me miss my father when you said that. Okay, so you're out there, you're all with these big guns, and all of a sudden you're on a set with, Academy Award-winning people. I mean, does it get a little intimidating, being there? I mean, because obviously you didn't grow up in the theater or anything.
No, I think being from New York, you're not really scared of anything. You just have these, like, you're just raised,
You know what? I totally forgot that equation. It's like, she grew up in New York. What's she going to be afraid of?
But, when I first met Hillary, of course, you're just like, wow, she's, Oscar award. And then you're like, this is my job, and this is what I'm supposed to do. And at that time, I wasn't saved, so it didn't really, it didn't really matter to me. But now...
So you're playing somebody that's kind of an antagonistic sort of person, a little bit. As an actor, I mean, you have to get in character. So you got to kind of, like, pretend, sort of, but pretend in a deeper way, because you may have to pretend you're doing that particular scene like all day or into the next day, depending on how long it takes to film it. So does that kind of go with you home after a while? If you feel like a bad guy or a bad girl,
for a bad girl,
for a while, doesn't that kind of like spirit kind of go with you sometimes?
I really do believe that spirit goes in with you, and when you don't have Christ, when you don't have that faith, you don't realize that you are taking on that spirit, and it is the spirit that you're taking on, and it is the character. And if I'm playing someone who's depressed, obviously I have to know what it is. I have to feel what it's like to be alone, and we all know when we're alone, those little voices start getting in your head. And if I can't come out of that, you know, at that time I didn't have anyone to put hands on me and pray for me. It was just something that, as an actor, if you don't have those tools in order to come out of that, sometimes it can really mess with you. And so thank God that I can come out of that and be like, Lord, here, take it. I don't want to be sad. I just want to be saved.
Well, you know, as Christians, you know, just down through the years historically, when we think of Hollywood, we just think of this dark place that people go in and they fall off the edge of a cliff and they're never seen from again.
Yeah.
You know, it's like but you know, the Bible says to go into all the world and preach
Absolutely.
the gospel. We're going to see clips about a guy named Danny Gans here tonight, who was, you know, a Vegas headliner for years, who was, you know, he prayed before he went on, and he had a family life and all that stuff. So there are some people that get sucked up in the character and in the lifestyle. But as a Christian, how has the Lord helped you to separate the job, the craft, the skill from your life?
I don't believe I've been in that situation yet where I've been in such a, you know, deep character where I've had to be like, okay, Lord, help me in this situation. But I do believe that we have this grace, and we are called to be the light. You know, when Jesus left, he said, you are the light. You know, you have to shine. And my pastor always calls us to be bold and to be just going out there and speaking the word. And we live in a world now where we have so many networks that are, you know, just preaching very vulgar languages and
like
images.
Like cable and stuff like that?
Yes,
Yeah.
and so sometimes as Christians, especially when you come into this world as an actor, there's no guideline. You know, God doesn't say, all right, hey, people might just call you a freak. I'm just saying, you know, and you're like, all right, God, how can I be an artist and not just give a bad name to you, but I'm still an artist at the end of the day. So it's a constant struggle, but at the end of the day, I believe we have grace. And so as long as I have that grace and as long as I know that God is first, everything's going to be okay.